Welcome to our Pain 21-day recovery journey. I'm actually dealing with what I call packing flare right now. Yesterday's organizing and labeling of our packed boxes has my arthritis talking. But you know what? Flares are like unexpected house guests. They might show up at inconvenient times, but they don't have to stay forever. If you're finding these evidence-based strategies helpful, please like and subscribe to join our supportive community. Greetings. It's nice to see you again. And those here for the first time, you're very welcome. I'd like you to meet Serena, 36, a wedding photographer with occipital neuralgia. That's sharp, electric-like pain radiating from her skull to scalp. Her flares threatened her ability to capture crucial moments at weddings. At first, every flare felt like a crisis, she explained. The turning point? Learning to map her flares. By simply jotting down notes in a pocket calendar, Serena discovered that her flares often began with subtle neck tension 24 to 48 hours before a major spike. Armed with this knowledge, she created a pre-wedding prep routine with targeted stretches, modified her equipment to reduce strain, and developed a backup photographer plan. Within 6 months, she cut her flare frequency by 60%. Next up is Tiffany, 41, a dance instructor living with ankylosing spondylitis, causing stiffness and pain in her spine and hips. Teaching demanded a complete rethink of her approach. I started noticing how flares often had a rhythm like a challenging dance step, Tiffany shared. 3 months of tracking revealed her flares typically peaked 36 to 48 hours after teaching 3 consecutive high-intensity classes. She redesigned her schedule to alternate intensity levels and implemented preemptive rest periods. This rhythm-based approach reduced her severe flares by 70%. While Serena and Tiffany focused on understanding their flare patterns, sometimes flares still happen despite our best planning. This brings us to Glenn, 49, a construction project manager with frozen shoulder. And that's a condition that starts with increasing pain, progresses to significant stiffness, and gradually improves over many, many months. His shoulder pain and limited movement made even simple tasks like reaching overhead or behind his back extremely difficult. As a construction manager, these challenges seriously impacted his work. Glenn created a flare toolkit, keeping heat packs, medications, and adaptive tools at home, in his vehicle, and at office. Instead of immediately canceling activities during mild flares, he practiced working through them carefully, building his confidence. He also developed clear ways to communicate his needs to his colleagues. While his flares didn't decrease, his ability to handle them transformed his work life. Let's talk about what's happening in our bodies during a flare. Research shows several key triggers that can amplify pain signals. Physical stress like overexertion or poor posture can increase inflammation and muscle tension. Even environmental factors such as weather changes, particularly drops in barometric pressure, can affect joint pain. Even factors like poor sleep, heightened stress, or changes in our routine can also sensitize the nervous system. Think of your nervous system like a sound equalizer. Sometimes the volume spikes, but these changes typically follow patterns we can identify. Studies show that when we develop confidence in managing flares, our brain's fear centers become less active over time, even if pain intensity stays the same, which is very interesting. This is because understanding and preparing for flares helps reduce the anxiety and stress responses that often amplifies pain signals. So what about you? I'd love you to try something this week. Maybe you could start like Serena did. Just grab any notebook or calendar you have around the house. Don't worry about making it perfect. Create your own system of creating and jotting down when you notice your pain changing. But here's the interesting part. Also note what happened in the day or two before, and that's really important. You might just surprise yourself with what you discover. Or if you connect more with Tiffany's approach, take a moment to think about your own patterns. Have you ever noticed your pain tends to act up at certain times? Maybe after particular activities, or even during certain seasons? Understanding these rhythms can be very empowering. And you know what? I love Glenn's toolkit idea. Why not gather your go to comfort items this week? It could be as simple as putting together a small bag with your heat pack, your favorite tea, or whatever helps you feel better. Having these ready can really make a difference when you really need them during a flare. Consider exploring these approaches, whether it's Serena's detailing tracking, Tiffany's rhythm awareness, or Glenn's practical toolkit strategy. Each method offers a unique way to understand and work with your pain patterns. Even small steps towards managing your pain more effectively can lead to meaningful changes in your daily life. Pain recovery is a journey, not a destination. You're developing skills that will serve you well throughout your life. In our next videos, we'll continue exploring strategies to help you live well as you're on your pain recovery path. Your presence here shows courage and commitment to your well-being, and that's something to be proud of. So it's bye for now, and I'm wishing you a comfortable week.